Hello everyone, welcome to the third episode of FinTech Mavericks, a masterclass on emerging FinTech trends with Anish Achutan. I am Gunjan and I have Anish along with me. We are back on your screens to discuss on yet another interesting trends in the FinTech industry. We'll talk about it very soon. Anish, when it comes to, you would very well relate with the fact, given that you have interacted with so many merchants, and every merchant would understand that when it comes to time taken by the customer, to complete the payment for the transaction or for the purchase on the website, any little bit of friction can actually lead to annoyance and ultimately a business loss for the merchant, right? And that's why, and if you see, it's very unlikely that once consumers are hooked to a convenient way of making payments, they are unlikely to go back, right? And that's why seamless transactions, or I would say seamless integrations, have been the watchword for the longest of time. But now the industry is moving towards a different trend, because yesterday's consumer had access to money, whatever they have in their pocket. But today's customer or consumer, what they have in their pocket is the key to access, the money that is there in the account or even beyond that. So that's where, the industry is now moving towards invisible payments. So what, according to you, are invisible payments, and how does it work?
So invisible payments are all about customers having to complete a transactions without the need of manually entering their payment information or physically have to swipe a card. It used to always exist. For example, the best example was the recurring billing or e-mandates, wherein without you having to do anything, the money gets debited from your bank account. Or it could be even pay later services, where you can do you can check out without having the need to enter the payment information. Now it has actually evolved into the next level, where with the advent of technologies like artificial intelligence, smart cameras, there are initiatives where you can actually walk into a store, pick up like a product, and then you can actually check out without having to go to stand at the billing counter or having to do anything basically.
Great. So you mentioned about, consumers would now be able to check out of the store without having to pay for it manually. And that sort of, I am able to recall, the example of Amazon Go. And I think that's a very good example of invisible payments. But when it comes to the Indian market, right, like payments has two important imperative legs. I would say one is the authentication and the other is the authorization, right? And India is a 2FA economy. Two-factor authentication is important to stay compliant, largely legislated, to avoid, fraudulent transactions, and US is a 1FA economy. So how do you see, invisible payments being implemented and ensuring that we stay compliant as well when it comes to the implementations of it?
Right. So there are multiple ways this is happening in the India market. The biggest example is for the toll payments. We have the FASTag, where we don't have to actually step at a toll booth and give the payment, and it's now made mandatory, so there's a mass adoption that is actually happening. Similarly, when it comes to the contactless payments, recently up to 2000 you don't really need to enter the 2FA or the PIN. Now the regulator has allowed to increase the limit from 2000 to 5000 rupees, and we are actually seeing more of this adoption. When you actually go to a petrol pump or a retail store, they relate to this as a Wi-Fi card. They would ask you, like, do you have a Wi-Fi card as well? Now you can actually build functionalities on top of this, combining this with artificial intelligence or biometrics to get into the invisible payment journey. The third part is like the pay later services. On the e-commerce side, where without like having to enter the two-factor, you can actually complete the transactions as well. So there are multiple ways in which this is going to be implemented in India. The good part is that both the regulators, the financial institutions, and fintechs are all working towards bringing this in different shapes and forms.
Thrilling to understand and know that the regulators are accepting or they are welcoming of invisible payments. But when we talk about invisible payments, when it comes to like $1 million question that I have in my mind, which will primarily drive the adoption of it, is how secured these are. One is the compliance, and of course the security part of it. So and specifically, like you mentioned an example of toll and transit and in FASTags basically, and even the government is now pushing towards adopting FASTags and making it mandatory that everyone adopts it. But security remains very imperative. So what's your take on that?
So both the regulator or the financial institutions is working towards it, that ensure that these things are actually taken care. For example, that's the reason why there is a limit of 5,000 rupees on a contactless card. But then there are also technologies available, which is a combination of Internet of Things or IoT or like Bluetooth, beacons which helps you identify the particular customer, or more even we have the smart cameras which can actually detect that particular persons. And in India we already have built the Aadhaar infrastructure with both the finger biometrics as well as your facial recognition. So like Gunjan walking into a retail store, they can exactly identify that okay, this is Gunjan at the store, and you would have actually given authorization for a limit of probably 5,000 rupees, and then the products have like the barcodes or even the cameras identify the products that you pick through maybe an RFID tag attached to it, and you can just walk out of the stores as well. So when it comes to security and technology, the world has actually evolved, the industry has evolved. There is like companies which is specifically working on securing this type of invisible payments as well. So I don't think consumers should more worry about like the security of this, but it's evolving every day.
Okay. So what I understand is you do not need an additional, or additional credentials to be entered to authenticate the transaction, but the customer himself becomes the authentication, right? You took an example of facial recognition or even, the biometric as well. Right. What other technologies you mentioned about incorporating or implementing AI ML as well, but what other technologies do you see influencing the implementation of invisible payments?
Right. So invisible payments is a larger industry, I would say. Like it has got multiple applications. It's getting deployed in multiple ways. So from standard technologies like RFID so that it can identify your payment instrument, or even things like Bluetooth beacons. When you actually walk into a store, it identifies, or smart cameras, biometrics. And supported by artificial intelligence or machine learning. So these are the few technologies which is really driving this adoption when it comes to invisible payments.
So Anish, when it comes to, like, you took a very good example and the real life example, specifically even in the Indian market, of FASTags. But if you see the trend of it, it is sort of compulsive and at the same time low ticket size item as well, right? How do you see the trend shaping when it comes to impulsive spends and also, high ticket purchases?
I think compulsion sometimes helps. When we have the demonetization, it forced people to start adopting UPI payments or digital payments, which otherwise would have taken few more years to adopt. Similarly, imagine like now you have the FASTag made it mandatory, so every car owner has a FASTag embedded. Now the next phase is like just getting implemented in petrol pumps. So you actually go to a petrol pump and then you can get it. So once customers get used to it, once they get comfortable with it, then there can be an ecosystem that is built around it. You go to a retail store, again maybe a drive-in restaurants basically. You pick up the food and then you get billed towards the end. And I would see a lot more companies would build new business models around it. Maybe they will actually guarantee the customers the security of the transactions. Maybe they will underwrite the merchant or the customer, and there can be different business models that can. It's basically like a canvas basically, where it's up to the companies or the innovators to build on top of that.
Great. One last question, Anish, before we wrap this masterclass. How do you see, do you see this getting implemented at the fast pace? You take an example of UPI seeing a surge in the transactions in terms of volumes and even in terms of transaction value as well. So when it comes to invisible payments, how does the future look like? Maybe in the near future only. What do you see? What do you foresee when it comes to invisible payments?
So currently, invisible payments are in a very nascent stage. It's happening in an invisible format without the customers really knowing that okay, this is invisible payment. So it may take like 2 to 3 years for a faster or getting it adopted by the masses. Globally, there was a report which I was reading that by 2025, around $28 billion of transactions would happen through invisible payments. It's just that we are actually seeing the baby steps in the invisible payments at this point.
Great, great. Thanks for the insightful session, Anish. So we saw new business models would be emerging as a result of the implementation of the invisible payments. We will largely start with low ticket size items, but there will be multiple use cases with high ticket purchases as well as compulsive spends as well. The government has been very, and even the regulatory authorities have been very supportive in terms of the implementation of whether it's invisible payments or low-code technologies or even embedded fintech. We hope you found these master classes really insightful, and if there's anything you would want to know more about the emerging trends in the fintech industry, do let us know in the comment section below. We'll be happy to come up with another master class and help you understand the nitty-gritties of it.